Today is Sunday, which means it's time for the weekly NYC pizza bus tour that I always lead. I'm about to hype on my bike, head in Manhattan around the tour. Why don't you follow along for some behind the scenes action? I always go through Prospect Park in the morning. People running next to me, I'm biking. They're exercising, I'm on my way to eat pizza. Next up, I get to bike over the Brooklyn Bridge. I get a really good view of the East River, the Manhattan Bridge.
So I usually get to the first pizzeria about an hour early, just so I can set up and have everything ready before people show up. This way I can also have a minute to read Pizza Today magazine, center myself, get ready for action. Let's go to Castay. They're not open yet, so we have to sneak in the side door. I'm sorry, we get to sneak in the side door.
Everyone's good. Oh, nice. So I got about a half hour to get this stuff ready before people start showing up early, and then once people start to show up, it's game on. Pizza! Pizza! So today's Sunday, so it's a bus tour. It means the plan is we're gonna hit up 4 pizzerias, 4 totally different styles, cheese pizza at every style, so we can do direct comparisons of ovens, temperatures, fermentation style for the dough. Today's the most intense tour because we go to the most places, we travel the farthest. It's also the biggest group, so it's 32 people. Start every bus tour here at Castay because I have this back room here. It's like a great theater where we can look at the ovens, give people more behind the scenes action than they would get just by visiting this place. I always look up the different groups so I can figure out if there's a group of 6, then they'll all sit together. But if there's a bunch of groups of 2, sometimes I pair them up. The pizza comes out cut into 4s. So I always try to make sure that people are with their groups or with other people they can share that same pizza with. We got a group of 8, 5, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. I bet a bunch of those 2s are friends. I bet they know each other. Pizzeria that exhibited all these boxes never sent them back to me, but the sauce tasted flat. I don't know. Then we'll look at what your beverage pairing says, and if you drank a double IPA, I'll be like, oh, everything's flat. So with the Sunday bus tour, I never plan in advance where we're gonna go. So whenever there's a brief moment that I can escape from the group, I go off and send some texts and figure out the plan based on what I'm getting from the group. So today's group, I'm getting an interesting vibe of maybe square pizzas. There's definitely a lot of locals, so I'm not gonna take them to the usual suspects. The criteria for the pizzerias is each style has to be different, so we can't do more than 1 New York slice shop, we can't do more than 1 Sicilian, we can't do more than 1 Neapolitan. Every place has to be able to fit a group of 32 people. If the weather's nice, then we don't necessarily have to sit down at tables. And also I wanna make sure that each place that we go to is a pizzeria that I'm extremely familiar with. So we never would go to a place that I've never been to before. As of the mid-18th century, pizza napolitana was the phrase that was used to describe this, like a throwaway dish. It was not meant to be eaten. The poor ate it, the poor made it, which meant nobody else wanted to eat it. While everybody's eating, we're gonna go check on the bus. Gotta make sure it's in good order, make sure the driver knows where we're going, set up some music. Mr. Boney! What's going on, bro? I'll text you the address, but it's gonna be a place called Best Pizza. I'm sure we've been there together. Yeah, there it is. We're at the first stop, which I just called as we were getting off the Williamsburg Bridge. We're going to Best Pizza in Williamsburg, and we're gonna kind of take over the whole place. In a nice way, in a nice way. Chili, basil, garlic oil. Yeah. Built ovens here to burn coal, they built them much larger than you would build a wood-fired oven. And they didn't build them inside the place. They would build them as a 1-floor extension off the back of a building. We were just talking about how at Best Pizza they got a wood-fired oven, but that wood-fired oven is actually inside an old 1925 coal-burning oven. This whole thing is an oven, and it's an extension off the building because these coal-burning ovens are too large to put inside the building. The way to stretch this dough, which is totally different from what we saw at the first place, is starting around the edges and just pressing down. But once you push down in the edges, now you do a little patty cake, and this wipes off all the excess flour. Now you get your knuckles around the very, very outside edge. And I'm trying to do this without like a good table or anything like that. Normally it would have been on the table for another 5 or 6 seconds.
style we had here, which was grandma's pizza, and that's always a thin, rectangular pizza with the sauce on top of the cheese, very lightly topped, usually a little garlic in the sauce. Although here at El Porto, no garlic in the sauce. That was our third slice of the day, which means it's on to our fourth slice, which is gonna be an upside-down Sicilian slice at the House of Pizza and Calzones in Red Hook. At House of Pizza and Calzone. That's Paul. What's up, Paul? How are you, brother? I bugged Paul this morning,
Early.
calling him during his coffee break. You ready for another coffee break?
No, not yet. I'm a one coffee a day guy.
Are you? So this is the last stop. We hit House of Pizza and Calzone, which is in the Columbia waterfront right next to Red Hook. I think a lot of people are full. A lot of people are ready to take a nap on the way back to our starting point. And I'm walking the wrong way. We gotta go this way. So we just finished up the tour. We hit 4 stops, 1 in Manhattan, 3 in Brooklyn, Keste, then we went to Best Pizza in Williamsburg, then we hit up Il Porto in Brooklyn, right by the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Then we went to Red Hook, Columbia Waterfront for House of Pizza and Calzone. We just dropped everybody off, and now I'm gonna go eat a salad.